So I haven't done a vlog post in a while, so I'm just going to give you some updates on my life and things like that and what's going on and all that fun stuff. So we're now entering the end of June. I was struggling with some depression, breakthrough depression in like May and early June, but it started to get a little better at this point. It's I don't know. It's been a weird week. Like I've actually seen a few people this week, which was interesting. My parents actually came over today. I hadn't seen them since February, and we had like a social distancing visit. It's kind of weird sitting, they were, in the living room and I was kind of across the room and we're sitting here inside wearing masks because it was actually kind of hot outside, and sitting outside in the summer wearing with a mask on your face is, but, it's just, I don't know. Like, it was really good to see them because I hadn't seen them since February. But, at the same time, it's just like kind of having this realization that there is no going back to normal or the way things were. Even if they find a vaccine or a cure or the coronavirus goes away, things have changed. They're not going back. So we have to stop looking backwards and trying to get back to normal and the way things were and build I don't want to use the term new normal because I'm quite fucking sick of it, but we need to build a new construct for our future. And this week, because I work at a large university, and they announced their plans for the fall semester, and they're doing a hybrid, which most universities are doing at this point, a hybrid learning experience for the students. So like all the large, lectures with like 300 people, those are all online. There's some in class, some classes happening and things like that. Obviously, like if you take a chemistry lab or are pre-med or, have to do something hands-on, those are going to have to take place, on the college campus. And, they're having to, because it's a very international student population. So, they're also preparing for, the dorms so they can all be single occupancy rooms rather than, I guess they're double occupancy. I don't know how they do them there, but, or like frat houses or sororities and things like that, where, you have all these people living on top of each other. But, as a staff member, we are going to be pretty much working from home until the end of the calendar year, and spring 2021 is a question mark at this point because, it depends on if there's, another spike, and as we're seeing, Texas and Florida, reopened with, cavalier things and suddenly are now, drowning in coronavirus cases again. So, I don't know. I suspect I'll have to go to campus occasionally for things because I do photography and stuff like that as well, for the department I work for. So, and I live really close to where I work. So, it's a 10-minute drive. And hi, Moon. Moon came over to say hello. I'm going to come up and say hello. Here's Moon Kitty. Say hi to your adoring fans, Moon. Yes, everyone loves a Moon. Oh, here's a Corey, too. Anytime you talk to another cat, Corey's like, hey, I'm a cat, too. And here's Corey. Here's my little buddy. Mwah. All right, maybe I'll go away now. No, I'm not lucky. Nor was I. So, I'm not sure, I'm kind of... I figured we would be going back to work for the beginning of the fall semester, but now working from home for the next 6 months. And the part of it that really burns me, and I know this sounds like, privileged garbage, which it is like, I really fucking hate cooking for myself, and that's been like my number. I live alone, so, there's no one to trade off with. But you get used to those creature comforts, like I'm going to go to the Dunkin' Donuts, get a cup of tea and a bagel. Someone gives it to me, I leave. Now I have to make my own goddamn cup of tea and bagel. And lunch and dinner and snacks, and it's just like never ending. But I got used to that because that, when you work in an office or whatever, and I'm terrible. I'm not someone who can do meal prep. I can't. It's just not. I try. It just doesn't happen. So I'm very much of a whim eater. I'm like, what am I in the mood for? Well, if I brought, a salad, I might be in the mood for a hamburger. So I'd go out and get a hamburger and my salad would go to waste. So anyways, I hate cooking for myself. So I'm now officially an old person. I drink those little Ensure nutritional drinks. I have a couple of those a day so I can cut down on actually having to make a meal and feed myself. Although I will get stuff from Uber Eats. I had Ethiopian tonight for dinner because we have a ton of Ethiopian restaurants where I live. I mean, there's at least 3 or 4, which is awesome. Yeah, and the other thing is, my boyfriend and I, our offices are a block from each other, which is nice because we would be a block from each other 5 days a week instead of an hour away from each other all the time. So, just kind of feeling a little, I don't know, is this ever going to fucking end? And I don't know. I do not know. And, it's just, I don't know, it's just been hard. I mean, I'm not as depressed and down about it as I was for a while there. But, at the same time, it's just yeah, I kind of want things to go back to the way they are, but I'm now shit is not going to go back to the way it was. It just isn't, and I live in Philadelphia, so we were supposed to go to a modified green phase on July 3rd, and now that's looking iffy because there's been a recent spike in cases of people between 17 and 19 years old because, they're the ones often not wearing masks. Because I see it all the time. Surprisingly, though, from the protests, there was not a big spike in cases, which is awesome. Most of the people were wearing masks to the protests. So that's at least, something that's good. But I don't know. But, it's just, I guess I'm just sort of in that phase now of where every day is just a blur into the next day, into the next day. And, it's almost fucking July and I've been sitting here since the beginning of March. And, it's just everything just feels like it blurs into each other. What differentiates one day from another in any given day of the week? Not a whole lot. My sleep is still screwed up, but, at least now I don't have to worry about unscrewing up my sleep for another 6 months. So there's that. I think I went to sleep around 3:30 this morning. Slept till 1, was awake till maybe 4, kind of lazed about all evening, and then now I'm awake. I don't even know what time it is. It's probably after midnight by this point, if I had to guess. But, my business, Belladonna's Botanicals, is doing really well. I'm just in a never-ending cycle of restocking things and making new products and fulfilling orders. And I was like, yay, I restocked 3 things today and ran out of 3 more. Every time. I'm like, I made headway. No, I didn't. But I'm not complaining. I mean, I love what I do, but it's also hard because, with everything with the coronavirus, I can't just have people come over and help me with stuff. Because a lot of times what bogs me down with stuff is not so much the making it, but, printing out the labels, putting the labels on everything, putting the stuff in bottles and packaging them and all of that, and packing all the orders and whatnot. So I have to do that all myself. And when you get a lot of orders all at once, or big orders or things like that, now that some of the stores that I stock my stuff are reopening, I'm going to have to like, check in on that as well. See where they were at before they closed and if they need anything. But, at least it's been easier to get supplies faster for the most part. So that's been a little easier. Well, every once in a while I can't find something. Like this week's thing was hard to find were glass 2-ounce spray bottles. I don't know. Hi, Mooney. But I do what I do. It's just sort of like, I guess it's kind of like at this point, it's like, what the fuck is there to look forward to this year? Like everything is canceled, all the like normal events I've ended at one by one are either canceling or doing like online virtual markets, which is fine. But, I like doing, the events and stuff like that. They're exhausting, but, I like actually talking to people about my products and talking to other vendors and buying things from other vendors because, I can tell you there were quite a few events I went to that I probably spent exactly the amount of money I made. But, that's gone now. I highly doubt any of that's going to be happening for the fall. Because everything at this point for the summer has been canceled or is online. I have 2 coming up next month. Which I'll have to post on my website and stuff. But yeah, it's just, like I was supposed to go to the Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, Joan Jett concert in August. That's postponed till next year, My 2-year anniversary is coming up with my boyfriend in mid-July. We'd initially talked about, going on a little trip or something or doing something fun for that. Well, maybe we can see each other. I don't know. But, it's just, am I going to even be able to celebrate Christmas with my family? Safely? Or are we going to be like all in masks for Christmas? Because my dad's very high risk. My 2-year-old nephew is 2.5-year-old nephew is probably pretty high risk as well, for medical reasons. I don't know. At least like the COVID testing now is a lot easier to come by. Because, you can get them at a lot of like Rite Aid, CVS, or Walgreens. I don't think they do them at Walgreens in Pennsylvania, but CVS and Rite Aid do. So I did that. I had mine done at Rite Aid because I qualify because I have high blood pressure, but it's not like they ask for like proof that you have high blood pressure when you get to the, you go through like the drive-in pharmacy window and, stick the thing up your nose. And it's not as terrible as people made it sound like they were poking their brains out. Like, come on. But, just made me sneeze a lot. And I felt like I had a runny nose for the rest of the day. But as far as things I've had done to my body, not terrible. Ain't like getting a root canal or anything like that. So, I don't know. That's just me rambling about what's been going on in my life for the past month or so. I don't think I've done a vlog update since maybe my birthday. Not how I imagined spending my 45th birthday, but it's been a weird fucking year. And everything was like all the planets are going like retrograde this month. I think Venus just came out of retrograde. Now Mercury's in retrograde and 3 other planets are in retrograde. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I don't even want to know what July has in store for us. But hey. I was going to say something witty, but it's like, what's the worst that could happen? A Sharknado? A Sharknado will happen. Or a hurricane of octopi? I don't know. Anyways, I probably should go to bed. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. And once again, thank you to my Patreon supporters. And have a good one.